doesn't think brunch is very girly. He says, Ted, what makes brunch so girly? Breakfast isn't girly. Lunch isn't girly. What makes brunch so girly? Ted says, I don't know. Nothing girly about a horse. Nothing girly about a horn. But you put them together, you get a unicorn. Jokes like these happen in situational comedies all the time. Sitcoms, for short. Situational comedies present jokes in which a character sets up or does something silly, and then somebody else calls him out on it. Just like that. Now, I'm going to go on a limb here and break down this joke for you as to why it's so funny. It doesn't follow the structure of some of the jokes we know or tell in Toastmasters, for example. I boiled it down to 3 aspects: timing, content, and volume. Timing. If Ted said the punchline too early, the joke doesn't make any sense. What makes brunch so girly? Unicorn. Doesn't quite work. Content. Ted didn't have exactly an answer for the joke, but why was it still funny? Because he made a comparison of the same nature. Nothing girly about a horse, nothing girly about a horn. Unicorn. Girly. And third, volume. This would be the most obvious. If Ted didn't say the punchline loud enough, it wouldn't have been all that funny. Unicorn. But that's not the only aspect of volume you should be focusing on. Volume, just like David Borelli's speech with vocal variety, means that he also needed to say it in a certain way that made it seem different or unusual. That's why he carelessly said it, in a very casual way. I don't know. Nothing girly about a horse, nothing girly about a horn. Put them together to get a unicorn. So, why do I burden you with this? Because it's not just sitcoms or when you're telling jokes that these 3 aspects are necessary. These 3 aspects, when they come together, they make a very funny joke and they make a very funny punchline for your audience to enjoy. But this is not the only venue where you'll see this. In fact, you'll also see this in the other aspect of sitcoms, those passionate speeches or monologues that happen to characters. That time where they spend up to 5 or 7 minutes. Sound familiar? Standing in front of people, usually giving a passionate speech about their love life or something. Or their destiny. Pick one. Sometimes both. So, I burden you with this because these 3 aspects are very important in jokes and speeches. In speeches, you also have to worry about your timing. You got to pace yourself properly throughout a speech. Can't go too fast, can't go too slow. Content. Your content has to be not only interesting, but also connected to itself so that it doesn't go too far off topic. I can't suddenly start talking about unicorns. Well, I can. But, you know, normally I can't just arbitrarily pick unicorn out of the air and expect you all to just understand what I'm talking about. Then lastly, once again, volume, very obviously. If I'm talking like this, nobody understands me. So that's why I have to project it. I have to make sure everybody hears me. Everybody has to be able to hear what I'm saying, and I need to use the ups and downs of my voice in a speech to make it something people want to listen to. Which brings me to the point about life being a sitcom. Toastmasters here is a great place to practice these skills and more for this presentation of a speech or a joke. But I'll have you know that in life itself, it's also a great place to practice as well. Case in point. Why do situation comedies make us laugh? Because no matter what happens on the show, when somebody makes a joke and somebody responds to it, it seems very natural. It seems very natural for Ted to just respond with the right response to make everybody laugh at the unicorn thing. Why is that? It can only look so natural because it has to be a natural thing at some point in your life. These situations most likely happen all around you. But because we don't want to actually give the punchline in fear of shyness or humiliation or just getting the punchline straight up wrong, we let a lot of these amazing opportunities go by the wayside. So that's what I'm challenging you all to do today. Look around your daily lives and see if there's a moment where you can find a funny situation, think of a punchline in half a second, and then just say it for the word to hear. Now, this isn't without risk. That's why you got to give it some thought, give it some practice. Make sure your punchline is timed right, said at the right time. The content makes sense, is relevant, and also loud enough for everyone to hear. I can't stress that enough. Why? Because I did mess up that way before. Sometimes when I mumble my punchline, people are like, what? And then it's not funny anymore. But practice these skills here or in real life, whatever venue you choose to practice them in, I challenge you to give it a punchline. Try to make it funny. That way people get a kick out of it, people laugh, and you get good practice, thinking right on the spot, coming up with the appropriate thing to say, at the right time, with the right content and right volume. Give life a punchline. Make it a good one. Otherwise, people will line up to punch you.